Ukraine may direct its next strike with Western missiles at a Rostov region. There are many facilities there that could be a target for the Ukrainian Armed Forces, reports the Wall Street Journal. Russian airfields, ammunition depots and training grounds are no longer safe after the Allies gave Ukraine permission to hit targets in Russia. Hundreds of targets are now within range of missiles that are more powerful than the long-range drones used by Ukraine. Rostov is the landing site for many troops transported on large military aircraft, equipped, loaded onto buses and sent to occupied eastern Ukraine. A strike in the region could be devastating and scatter a key staging area for Russian troops, the publication says. The Institute for the Study of War found about 200 military targets within range of ATACMS and Storm Shadow missiles. ISW analyst George Barros notes that this is only a part of the targets. According to him, Ukraine can use intelligence data to attack headquarters and other facilities that change location. The elimination of a brigade or division headquarters could create disruption for several days for hundreds of Russian soldiers, Barros said. The article says that one of the largest concentrations of targets is in the Rostov region. There are at least 4 airports there that are within range of Western missiles, although some of them are civilian. Rostov is the landing point for many troops who are transported by large military aircraft, equipped, loaded onto buses and taken to the occupied east of Ukraine. A strike on the region could be devastating and scatter a key staging area for Russian troops, the Wall Street Journal writes. It is still not known whether the United States has imposed restrictions on the types of targets or regions that Ukraine can choose for attacks. As the article notes, the US caution in granting Ukraine permission to use missiles gave Moscow time to remove some of its most important targets, such as aircraft and helicopters, from range. However, according to military analysts, this in itself was a positive for Ukraine, since the further Russian equipment is from the front, the longer it takes to deploy to the battlefield and the less time it can spend there, given fuel constraints. Moreover, even taking all this into account, Ukraine still has hundreds of targets on Russian territory for strikes with the said missiles, airfields, ammunition depots and training grounds.
A missile and drone attack was launched on Russia's Kursk region on the night leading to November 25, Russian Defense Ministry has reported. According to the information, the attack was carried out with ATACMS ballistic missiles and kamikaze drones. As a result of the activation of the air defense system, 7 ATACMS and 5 drones were shot in Kurchatov region. 5 more drones were shot down in other regions of the province. No damage or casualties have been reported. The fighter-bomber Telegram channel, which is close to Russian military sources, reported that the Ukrainian army attempted to attack the airfield in the Kursk region with 8 ATACMS missiles. According to other reports, at least 6 strikes were carried out by ATACMS missiles in the direction of Kalino Airfield. The footage distributed on Telegram channels shows explosions in the airfield area. Ukrainian official sources have not commented on this report. It should be noted that although the Kalino airfield is not used for the flight of airplanes, the Shahid and Orion drones are mainly launched from there.
The longer the so-called SVO lasts, the sadder the Russian ultra-patriots become. Military and Z blogger Yuri Yevich advised Russians not to sign contracts with the Russian Defense Ministry as this is certain death. He made frank statements in an interview with the wife of Russian security officer Igor Strelkov. Yevich called on Russians not to sign contracts with the Russian army as they are in essence a new form of slavery. Under no circumstances should you go to the Ministry of Defense because firstly, it's a lifetime contract. Let's be realistic. What does contract until the end of the SVO mean? Who sees this end? The Z blogger said. He also voiced the second fantastic feature of the Russian army, the commanders' disregard for the lives of their own soldiers. He recalled the sensational story of a famous drone operator with the call sign Goodwin, whom the commander nullified by sending him on a meat assault. Yevich stressed that soldiers now have very little chance of survival due to the massive presence of drones throughout the entire battle zone. According to him, the wounded are almost never evacuated. Nobody wants to bother with evacuation here. The enemy's dominance in reconnaissance and drones means that it is impossible to get within 15 kilometers of the front. They will be discovered by reconnaissance drones and dispersed either by attack drones or mortars and artillery. The only option is to carry out the wounded and dead in your arms, said the Z blogger. Earlier, Dialogue.ua reported that Z patriot Yevich was impressed by the work of the Ukrainian Armed Forces with drones. Yevich was very impressed by the number and quality of drones used by the Ukrainian army. The enemy has an update. The work of drones has reached a completely new level. They now have thousands of these drones lying around in boxes like dirt. Literally. The question of saving UAVs is basically out of the question for them. They spend up to 5 attack drones per infantryman and 15 to 20 on each unit of our equipment. They have an international project. The whole world is churning out drones for them. The whole world is sending them money. And what about us? Volunteers somewhere bought something at an exorbitant price in China. I will not say what the state is doing. Hugging and crying is not the word, said the Z patriot. He also complained about the poor intelligence and communications of the Russian occupation army.